All right, let's see. Let's pray. Let's set intentions that the stream will not glitch out. Okay. I'm going to check real quick right now to see, make sure that everything is streaming good. Um, cause yeah, I got on live and I had to restart it. Okay, let me see. All right, it looks like it's working. Okay. So, oh my gosh, y'all let me know. Please don't let me don't let me talk and talk and talk. I know some of you probably didn't notice, but yeah, the stream got a little wonky. So I'm starting over and um before I get started, I actually forgot to do something. So I'm gonna go ahead and pin something very important into the chat. Um, which is the link. Okay, so today's video is gonna be all about feminine energy and money alchemy, turning your dreams into security. And I am opening the doors to enrollment to my new program, okay? It's partially new, okay? Because a lot of what's inside of Safe to Receive, the bulk of what's inside of the Safe to Receive is going to have to do with a lot of the other things that I've already created, so there's gonna be a boatload of bonuses inside of Safe to Receive, okay? But this is my newest program, okay? This is your Windfall Activation for Feminine Abundance, okay? If you wanna manifest $10,000 in the next 3 weeks, couple of months, or you wanna completely transform your money frequency, your money reality, and see the actual manifestation of thousands of dollars come into your reality within the next month, okay, then this is the program you need to enroll into because I am locking and loading this program with everything that I have ever embodied, learned, applied, um, into my own life that has set me up to receive my $10,000 windfall, okay, when I manifested winning a contest slash sweepstakes for $10,000, when I set the intention to receive magical money, money from the universe, money from me aligning with, my highest level desire, all of those things, okay? The magical way of receiving money is the first feminine way of receiving money is the magical way, okay? And I'm locking and loading Safe to Receive with everything you know about receiving money in a magical way, okay? I close my curtains because it's dark outside now. Um, but that's the first thing, okay? The second thing, okay, we're really gonna be breaking down in this video these 3 ways of doing money alchemy and receiving money through your feminine energy, okay? The first way is the magical way. The second way is the masculine way, okay? Having and allowing men to show up for you and to spend money on you, okay? Having and allowing men to come in, fill the gap, okay? And I'm not talking about small amounts of money, I'm talking about you receiving allowances. I will check on it. Go ahead. Okay. Why don't you just go ahead and take your tablet? 'Cause you're gonna be walking back and forth through the videos. Check your tab. So and Aleva, you're gonna have to go in your room. You're gonna be moving around. Go ahead, go in your room. Then you need to be right there, cause I can't see you moving around. It's gonna distract me. Okay, so the second way is masculine energy and allowing men to show up and provide for you. Okay. Yes, my baby is here, my baby is in the background, and sometimes when she walks in the camera, like, my mind is just not present anymore, so just gotta do what I gotta do. But, um no, sweetie, you can't. Whatever you can ask me. So masculine energy and allowing men to show up and provide. So this isn't small money that I'm talking about, okay? This is giving you allowances, this is men as soon as you meet them, within the first week, them financially supporting you, them showing up in a masculine way, and actually wanting to, actually feeling really good about it, and it's making his connection to you even stronger. These are all of the things that I had to step into when it comes to feminine energy and money alchemy, okay? I had to realize that allowing men to step in my life financially was not only did it feel good, but it was, like, important, it was necessary. I could no longer continue operating in that mode of, "No, I can do it myself," or "I've got it. Why do I need him to do anything for me or to, send me any money or to" I just completely left that mindset behind, and there were a lot of things that, had to do with that shift. I mean, being online and listening to a lot of other feminine energy coaches who talked about, hypergamy, who talked about why it's important that you allow a man to provide for you, and, um and also, I was talking about She-Ra 7 in my Glamour Magic video. She-Ra 7, and for a lot of women, has been a part of our feminine energy journey and, like, learning about getting a man to provide, and for a lot of women, it puts a bad taste in their mouth, thinking about seducing a man and having him financially provide for you, but that is just the formula, okay? That's just the formula that allowed me, okay, and a lot of other women to feel feminine, and not just feel feminine, but also feel supported, to feel secure, to know that no matter what, like, I'm straight and I'm okay, because I have all these men in my life who are interested in me, who wanna be in my world, who wanna be in my energy, especially if, like, it really doesn't matter what age you are, okay, it doesn't matter what age you are, I don't care if you are considered to be not in your prime anymore, to the manosphere or whatever, misogynistic type of coaching you may have received, but as a woman, you are desirable. As a woman, you are worthy inherently. So that is something that I had to get myself into accepting, okay, yeah, men are supposed to provide for me, and I had to also learn how to weed out the ones that were not gonna do that versus the ones that were. So that is the second main way, okay, that I'm locking and loading safe to receive with all of the, feminine money alchemy tools you need if you want to manifest a windfall of money, if you wanna activate your ability to receive a windfall of money, I guarantee you is men in your energy field, and not just men, but we're going back to the magical money, there is also circumstances in your energy field that are like, literally on the precipice of lining up for you to give you your money, to give you the money that's meant for you. Just like when I come on in here and say, "There's a man out there that's meant for you, there's a love that is meant for you," there is also money that's meant for you. There is also money with your name on it. The question is, are you cashing in your check? The question is, are you allowing that money to come in? Okay, so not only am I locking and loading safe to receive with all of the tools and energetics and, um, codes to unlocking that windfall experience, but I'm also gonna be sharing with you in this video, okay, how to unlock it and a lot of the core things that women do, that I did, that really just blocks it off, okay? And so the third way of doing feminine energy money alchemy, okay, is gonna be through your business. Feminine business, okay? As a woman, we naturally and what I've discovered in my femininity, I have found a lot more power, freedom, excuse me, and sovereignty. Ooh, sorry, y'all. Okay, I have found a lot more freedom, power, and sovereignty through stepping into my business and saying goodbye to 9 to 5, saying goodbye to somebody else's vision, working for someone else's vision. Um, I don't know about y'all, but I have never felt comfortable. I've never really felt empowered working a job. I've never felt free working a job. I've never felt, I have had fun, okay? I will say that I have had fun, okay? In my, live video that I did talking about, um, how to create rejection-proof feminine energy, okay, in relationships with men, I have experienced what it's like to, um have a lot of fun at the jobs that I work at, okay? I just knew how to make fun out of it, and I kinda lucked up a lot in working jobs that were just fun, okay? And it might have been work, but it was fun, okay? So I have experienced having a fun job, which is why I'm not against working the job if you are enjoying yourself and it's what you you have and what you're having fun with at the moment, right? But if you are getting to a place in your life, you're getting up to a place in your womanhood where you're, um, wanting to step into another level of feminine energy and, hold on, y'all, my laptop needs to charge. Um, make sure this is plugged in because I don't need no more technical difficulties, okay? Um, okay, let me make sure that okay, that worked. Um, ooh, oh my gosh, okay. Something is in the air today. That's all I gotta say because let me X out of this. That might help. Oh my gosh, what is in the air? Okay, I'm gonna okay, I think no, it's glitching again. Okay, I'm gonna unplug the charger. This new moon is not playing. Like going live on a new moon or a full moon is just Um, it's like you're playing Russian roulette. Okay, I think no, it's not. Okay. Okay, let me X out of some things. Going live today was like, I don't know if Sundays. I don't know if it's because it's a new moon or if it's because it's Sunday. What is going on? Okay, I'm gonna turn down the brightness. All right, that might help. And then I have to plug my charger back in. So let's see if that works. Okay. All right, that this looks like it's working. Okay. All right, this looks like it's working. So hopefully it doesn't glitch again. I am not going to restart the stream if oh my gosh. It did glitch again just now. Okay, let me make sure everything is just kind of going the way it's supposed to go. I'm going to check on my stream. Um no, that's why I asked you to join your room. Okay, let me see if this is working. Okay, it is. This is way too much anxiety to be having. This is way too much anxiety to be having. All right, it's working now. Everything's flowing now. Um, all right. New moon. New moon. Give me a break, all right? Okay. So, back to what I was saying, all right? The third way of receiving money and doing money alchemy through your feminine energy, in my experience, has been through your business as a woman. The another way that I have received windfalls of money in my life and in my experience from um the time of me becoming a single mother into leaving my mom's house or leaving my parents' house and stepping into my independence. A huge way that I experienced a windfall of money had been through my business. And this was the first time that I had almost a 10K month. And it was right after I was fired from being a six-figure sales closer. Okay. So I was a six-figure sales closer back in 2023, the end of 20, well, mid to end of 2023. And they decided to let me go 3 or 4 months into me working for them. And right when they let me, actually, I was seeing it coming anyways. So I was kind of preparing myself for being let go. But right when they let me go, I was like, okay, I'm going to take what I learned from this experience of being a six-figure sales closer and I'm going to apply it into my own business, right? Like I just learned how to sell And I wouldn't really say I learned how to sell because I was already selling my programs and courses from my Asaya Mystic YouTube channel, from my first programs that I had ever launched. It was called the Love Potion. I did the Love Potion. Um, the next program that I did after that was the Lilith Code. And I was getting women in. I was like, I knew how to make sales, which is how I had basically gotten that job opportunity, anyways, in the first place of working as a six-figure sales closer. But I had never sold at the level that I was selling inside of that company, which I was selling $9,000 to $12,000 program. That's how much the program was. And so that's how much I had to close women on, was that level of money, okay, basically. And in my experience, I learned so much about sales. I learned so much about feminine sales. And I also learned a lot about women because I was talking to women. The company was based around women and women entrepreneurs. And I had learned so much about the mentality of women, how a lot of women don't optimize or utilize those first two sections of feminine energy money alchemy, which is the magical money and the masculine money. Okay, that part really just goes completely out the window for a lot of women. They don't even think about magical ways of money coming to them, or they don't even think about, or maybe they do sometimes think about masculine energy providing financial support, but the confidence isn't there, the courage isn't there, the feeling radiant and worthy of that kind of experience isn't there. So when you don't have those first two, and then you're stepping into the third way of making money, which is through your feminine business, you're gonna hyper align with hustle and working hard and feeling like you need to build things brick by brick, and do things in a very like hard up way, okay? Whereas when you have those other two ways of understanding that's how money comes to you, it it allows you to relax. It allows you to know that you really don't have to hustle in your business. You can really show up in your business in the way that you want to, in the way that feels best for you. And that's where a lot of women get things wrong. So, that's what I'm locking and loading safe to receive with. So the link, I had pinned the link to safe to receive in the comments, and the doors are open for you to enroll. If I mean, I don't know if it's going to be at this price forever, but this is the price that it is right now. Okay, I have all of my courses and programs that talk about feminine wealth, okay, the wealthy woman activation training, the 3 steps to transforming your relationship to money and also love. um I have the soft life blueprint in there, which is your beginning steps to start allowing men to financially support and provide for you. And then I've decided to include basically all of the core trainings inside of valued and worthy. Okay, this is all of the belief rewirings that need to happen, the thought pattern rewirings that need to happen around money for your money to come in. This is understanding the way and the energetics of money work, okay, so that you're not seeing setbacks as no's. No, you can't have it. No, it's not meant for you. um we're getting into, well, I'm specifically get into in valued and worthy, and a lot of the core information in valued and worthy into the spec method. So that is exactly the technique, okay, that I use to manifest my windfall of $10,000. And that's what I use to manifest in general. That's what I use to manifest money, um luck, right? Good luck, free stuff, like whatever it is that I'm wanting, okay? But I'm breaking down the spec method in a way that Helen Hansel didn't break it down the way nobody has ever broken it down. Even though she used the spec method like a beast, I'm breaking it down in a way that to where you understand it. Because a lot of things in spirituality, when it comes to spiritual things, people hear what you say, but they don't really understand what you mean when you said it. Okay? So I'm breaking down the exact ways to manifest inside of valued and worthy. All of that is going into safe to receive. I'm transmuting that to now be inside of safe to receive because really and honestly, um the issue, okay, isn't just you feeling like or women feeling like security and wealth come from overworking and grinding all the time, right? Because that's the thing. That's the main thing that I noticed and I realized that was the issue with women when I was a six-figure sales closer. I understood that too vaguely in like myself and in other women that I was seeing and working with, but I didn't understand how detrimental it was to the feminine lifestyle, to your fulfillment as a woman when women over identify with working and grinding and hustling. It is so detrimental to our energy, to our health, to all of those things. So, um, it doesn't come from overworking and grinding, right? Like the alignment with money is what makes it happen. Your mastering of your craft, right, and aligning with money is what does the trick, okay? And how do you know if you're in alignment with money? How do you feel about it? How do you feel about it? Are you happy in a relationship with money? That will tell you everything that you need to know. So you don't need to do everything. You just need to do the aligned work that opens up your wealth portals. And feminine energy refines what it is that you should be doing. It doesn't hustle its way to to receiving money. Okay. So um So that's the first main thing that you need to understand. The second main thing is yes, you are meant to receive through your relationships, okay? Partnership, union, especially for men. Um this is about being open to wealth through connection, through love, through reciprocity, okay, and not isolation. This is something that I used to do so often is when I had situations going on financially or monetarily, I would feel guilty about it and I would feel ashamed of myself. And so I wouldn't tell anybody, I wouldn't share what was going on, and I wouldn't ask for help even from the men who were literally calling me, texting me, you know, and wanting to be in my life, right? I felt shy or like I couldn't ask because it was inappropriate or something like that. And then really like was like I had to check myself like so that's how I feel about myself. I don't feel good enough about myself to just ask for help. Like I feel that bad about myself. Like who ingrained me to think and feel that way about myself? Where does that come from? Because if I'm naturally just being who I am, I'm not going to have any problem with asking. I'm not going to have any problem with receiving. So, as a woman, you must be open to receiving wealth through connection, love, reciprocity, okay? Um a lot of you have men in your vortex, in your orbit who are literally just waiting for you, okay, to ask them for some money. Or who are just waiting for you to activate their provider instincts. I will put it like that. Okay. Just like you probably right now currently have a lot of opportunities and circumstances that want to line up to bring you your money. And because you feel like you have to overwork for it or grind for it, you're not in alignment with those circumstances because you don't believe or you don't feel like things can be that easy for you. So the money's out there, it has your name on it. You have to claim it. Now, I don't know if I'm repeating what I said earlier in this video, or the video that I did before. I had to end that one and come on here, but whatever. If I have to repeat myself, I will repeat myself because you've got to get it through your brain. You got to get it through your brain that there's money out there with your name on it, and you have to be brave and bold enough to cash in your check. Okay? So the energy that I picked up for a lot of the women um in this audience, in my field, who are going to come into this live video in the future or even right now is that a lot of you are operating from the Queen of Wands reversed. All right. For those of you who know and are familiar with the tarot, shout out to all my tarot goddesses, to all my mystical goddesses who practice tarot readings and things like that. Empress energy says you have to feel like you deserve it. Exactly. You have to feel like you deserve it, but not just feel like you deserve it, but you have to believe that you are it. That you were meant for it, that it is just a part of your blueprint, that it's a part of who you are. It has to now become who you are. Wealthy, rich, radiant. Okay. This is the thing that I run into so often, especially with super spiritual women. I've been there. I get it. And this is something that I definitely break down to a T um inside of Valued and Worthy, which is now going to be inside of Safe to Receive. Okay. Link is in the link is in the pinned comments for you to enroll into that. Um I'm going to be getting started with that ASAP, okay? Because I feel the fire, I feel the passion, and I really want to help women to understand that you can break through to that next level of wealth. It's just you're not utilizing all of the energy that is in front of you, okay? Yes, safe to receive, absolutely, because it's if you don't feel safe to receive it, you are literally going to continue to block it out. And that's what's happening. Okay. It's like you know you want it, you know it's meant for you, but you don't feel fully like you can have it. Okay. And this is something that I see spiritual women experience and go through so often is like you step into this like energetic standpoint of receiving it, right? Maybe you have done all the energetic work, all of this, like, I'm aligning with it, I'm visualizing it, but I'm noticing, okay, that if you believe, like, for example, there's been plenty of coaching calls that I have been on with women. Some of these women have been literally in states where, like, they don't have nowhere to live, they got kicked out, or they had a situation with their boyfriend that they were living with, and now they're living in their car, or um, they're wanting to do something with their life, right? And they've been doing all the manifesting stuff, and a lot of the stuff, honestly, you don't really have to work on because if you go through a negative experience, if you go through a strongly negative experience, you've already created in your field the solution and the next best thing. Your heart has already done that for you because whatever you feel in your heart, it's going to create and magnetically attract the next best thing. Okay? The issue comes in is when I see women saying or being in that state of manifesting or creating that thing, but then I'm like, okay, so if you know that you are manifesting and have manifested this new reality for yourself. Say it's like a new place to live, or um a certain amount of money, or um a car or whatever it is, okay? The way that you're moving isn't communicating that you believe that. And that's the gap that I notice with a lot of women who are very spiritual. And in the spiritual world, it's like there's a gap between you actually embodying that the truth of your belief. So really, you don't actually believe that what you want is yours. You don't actually believe that you're going to get this certain amount of money, or you have this new place to live, or you have this new car, or you have this whatever. You don't actually believe that because the way you're moving says that I still believe that I don't have it. So that is something that, again, break down and dive into super deep inside of Safe to Receive, because it has been one of those things that I'm just like, I've seen it in myself, to where actually when I moved out of my mom's house and I became independent, um, like I would say about 4 years ago, um, that was the point that I had to get to with myself, because I was like, I'm saying that I want to move out. I'm saying that I want to step into this new reality. I'm saying these things, and I've literally been in this boat for like a good year. I have been like really passionate about wanting to be and go on my own, right? There were a lot of circumstances that I was like, that I felt like was holding me back from that. I had a small baby. There was nobody that I knew in this state. I was dealing with health issues, so I felt like kind of like not as strong or secure or supported. So there was all these things that was holding me back, right? And then I realized that yeah, I'm not really I don't really believe that I get to have what I say I want, because I'm moving like I'm crippled. I'm moving like life isn't on my side. I'm moving like I don't already have the money. I don't already have the place. I'm acting like I don't got it. So of course I'm not gonna of course it's gonna take a long time. Okay. Let me check out these comments. Channel ID says, advice for loneliness. I'm 32, never had a boyfriend or relationship. Is something wrong with me? Do you have tips for my self concept? Um, 32, never had a boyfriend or relationship in your whole entire life? I mean, I don't know if I could believe that. Like, you ain't never had a friend? You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't know about that one. So if it's 100% true that you've never had a relationship in your life, um, you say, "Yes, I have had friends, no love life." Well, friends, I will let you know right now, I mean, men are never really all 100% your friend. Um, if men are in your energy, it's because they're enjoying your femininity to some capacity. Um, so There I mean, any masculine relationship that is not familial, I definitely feel like you could also group that into having a boyfriend, because that's really what it is. That's the name of the word, boyfriend. So if you've had friends, then you have had a boyfriend. If you've had more male friends, um, so there clearly is nothing wrong with you if you had male friends in your life. Um, so I'm gonna come back to this, because this is what came up when I was checking in with the energy of what you all really needed to step into in regards to money and these three avenues of money and receiving money and feminine energy money alchemy through the magical lane of money, the masculine lane of money, and um the business, feminine business lane of money. So for the masculine lane of money, Okay. And for all three lanes, you're going to have to step into your Queen of Wands energy. So the Queen of Wands, for those of you who know who the Queen of Wands is, if you know who the Queen of Wands is, you can tell me what you know about her. What do you know about the Queen of Wands? You can put it in the comments. Um, the Queen of Wands is, to me, which actually in essence, she's the Queen of Fire. She is the Queen of Fire. She's the Queen of Radiance. She is hot stuff. Okay. She's the woman who's hot stuff. She walks into the room and the room tilts. When she says something, people listen. When she shows up, people are in awe. They're watching her. She is the magnetic force of creation. She is the fire, okay? Yes, fierce. I think fierce is a great word for it. Fierce, ferocity, courageous, confident. Okay, she's the woman that wears the outfit that, you know, you don't know. I don't know if I should wear this. I don't know if I should wear this, but I'm gonna wear it today. And I don't care. I don't care who has to say anything about. I don't care if everybody's gonna be looking at me. I'm beautiful. I own my beauty. I own my magnificence. I own my aura. I'm going to wear the outfit. I'm going to wear the jewelry. I'm going to do my makeup in the way that I want to do my makeup. I'm going to say the thing that other people are afraid to say. I'm going to live the life that I want to live. Dare to dream and turn those dreams into the the foundation of your life. That's the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is the woman who steps into her glory and her power, knowing that most of the world is not doing that. Most women are not doing that, but she does it anyway. She doesn't need any validation from anybody. She doesn't need any system or any, authority. Now, mind you, she still does things the way that, you know, in order, right? In divine order, in honor of those around her, right? She's not running over people, and she's not the Queen of Wands reversed, right? Because that would be like um an overexerted Queen of Wands energy. But for most of you, you're dealing with under exerted Queen of Wands energy, where you're not necessarily running over people and thinking that you're better than people and all of that, but you just need to get to a place where you feel enough, where you feel like, yeah, I'm here. Okay. Empress Energy says sometimes dreaming for the best is being delusional and sometimes amounts to taking a risk. Exactly. The Queen of Wands is all about taking risks. Okay. But risks that are in alignment. This is the key word. Let me really break down alignment because I know a lot of spiritual people say alignment, okay? Alignment simply means that it is meant for you. It is the thing that lights you up. That's how you know you're aligned with it. So for me, I'm going to give an example, right, of my recent Queen of Wands energy that I have been aligning with. And the more that you align with the Queen of Wands energy, the more confident, radiant, magnetic you become to life wanting to give to you, to men wanting to give to you, to even in your business, people are going to want to pay you. People are going to be like, yeah, like she has what I need. She can help me. She's confident. She knows what she's talking about. I trust her. Like she's my leader or she's the one, right? I feel safe with her. Like I feel like she's the queen. Okay, so she's the queen of her craft. I'm gonna pay her. So the more that you pour into your Queen of Wands energy, the more that she's lit up and she's on fire. And a couple examples of how I've been pouring into my Queen of Wands fire recently. It's been what? Recently it's been school season has started back up, and, I remembered last year and the year before last, I, was bringing my daughter into kindergarten so the year before last in 2023, my daughter was going into kindergarten, and at that time, she was going to a new school, and before she was going to an amazing Montessori school that I loved so much, and I was really nervous about her going to, like, a public school, but every it was close by, everybody said good things about it, so and she had a really good teacher, but every time I would bring her, I would just feel like I didn't want her to go. You know what I'm saying? I would just feel like I don't want I just don't like this anymore. There was something off about it. Um, Midway through the school season, I ended up getting into a car accident and my car was totaled. So I couldn't continue bringing her to that school because I had to get a new vehicle and figure out what our transportation was going to look like. So that situation transpired and my daughter was home with me for the rest of the school year. And then when the next school year came around, she was going into first grade. This time, I had the opportunity to purchase a car, a brand new car. I had the opportunity to even have somebody bring her to school for me, which was my neighbor. She offered to help me because her daughter goes to the same school. So it was just like, yeah, I'll just bring her for you. And yeah, so everything felt like it was kinda, like, lining up, and I was like, "I want her to go to school this year because I specifically" you're gonna get put out. Stop that. Um, because I was dating someone, at the time who had certain beliefs. I mean, basically, he was just like, you need to put your daughter in school." You need to put her back in school, right? He was not very good at listening to me and understanding my passions, the things that I believed in. I can remember a time that I shared um, what I do, right, with my business, but not only what I do with my business, but like my visions and my dreams and what I wanted to create in the world. And I remember him saying something like, well, why don't you just I don't know. He said something that like, when people have small, limited kind of mindsets around certain things and you talk to them about your big dreams, you know what I'm saying? Your expanded vision, they can't hold that space for you. So, long story short, I realized that once first grade came around, that I was basing my decisions to put her back in school because of the beliefs of basically other people. My neighbor was like, "Oh, but if you put her back, if you should put her back in school. You need to because you need that space for yourself and it'll be good for her and da 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 da." And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And then listening to the person I was dating at the time, I'm like, "Well, yeah, he has a point. I should put her back in school." Child, I put her back in school and it was the same kind of like feelings coming up inside of me. But this time, I was actually having issues with the staff and the principal, right? And I was noticing things about the school that I hadn't noticed before. I was noticing how teachers were kind of looking at me weird when I was walking in the building. I was noticing how um some teachers would walk up to my daughter and talk to her and then completely ignore me and walk past me like I wasn't there. Um, I don't know, where I'm from, that's disrespectful, okay? I'm from the South. You do not walk up to somebody's child and greet them and then ignore the parent. That is weird. That's weirdo behavior, right? That's like to me, that's predator behavior. You know what I'm saying? That's like ill. Like you want my child to be comfortable with you, but you are being weird around me and you're not talking to me. So there were a lot of weird things happening. And so I was picking up on the message, you know what I'm saying? Even though people outside of me were telling me, "Oh, you should do this. Oh, you should do that. Or this is the best decision. That's the best decision." Waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, and hurrying up and getting dressed so that we can make it to the school at 7:30 so that we wouldn't be late because it starts at 7:55. They got to be in line. Like, and that was just too much for me. And I was like constantly getting her there late. Um I was having my neighbor bring her to school, and she was getting left behind in the line, and some stranger had to walk her into the school that um oh, well, it was a stranger to me. Okay. But it's staff. Okay, it was staff. All right. I'll give it that. Okay. She's listening to me right now, so I'm gonna kind of tone it down a little bit, my anger. But long story short, this year I decided I'm gonna do things my way. I'm not gonna force myself to get up at no 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, um, every single day because I just can't handle it right now. Maybe said sometime in the future I can handle it, but I'm still in a healing process, right? I've healed a lot from what I went through back in 20, well, not back in 2020, from the trauma that my body went through when I was healing from my spinal injuries and everything like that. But there were still periods where I would have flare-ups, and I just wanted to be in bed, okay? I just wanted to just relax. I had to give myself that this year and say, "You know what? I don't have to do it that way. I feel pressure to do it another way because of other people's voices, but I'm going to do it my way." And not only am I going to do it my way, but I'm also going to do it powerfully, okay? So, one of the ways that I've been stepping into my Queen of Wands energy is choosing my path regardless of what I think I need to do or I have to do. I'm choosing what feels the best for me to do. Okay. And that is, at this point, homeschooling my daughter during the day and allowing her to do other extracurricular things in the evening. So that way I still have some time to myself. um, okay. Empress Energy says risks are scary, lol. So you have to have extreme amount of trust in your ability to do that thing, sometimes to the point of delusion. And it's not only about trust. And I mean, you make a great point. Like, you do have to have a lot of trust, but it's not only about trust, it's about knowing. It's about knowing. It's about knowing that this is what it is. And this is the route that I have been ordained to go. Not the route that I want to go, not the route that I feel like I should go, but it's the route that God said, go. This is where you're supposed to be going. Okay. Whatever everybody else is telling you to do, whatever everybody else is telling you to do is one thing, but you're not crazy. Okay. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. When I walk into a school and I'm being looked at, weird or whatever like that. I mean, it's a vibe, okay? It's a vibe, and sometimes the vibe this is exactly what I mean by the issue, when it comes to manifesting with people, especially, like, people who are more identify as more spiritual, and sometimes not, right? You don't always have to identify as, like, super spiritual, but it's the vibe that um that you just don't trust. You don't trust that vibe. You feel like you're doubting what your soul is telling you. You're doubting what spirit is telling you. You have the spiritual energy around you is telling you, okay, this isn't aligned with you. It might be the practical thing to do, but it's not in alignment with you. Her first preschool was in alignment with me. It was in alignment. The second go round, third go round, right? That public school energy just wasn't in alignment with me. Okay, I gotta bring my baby somewhere where I'm either paying them or they're just a really good school. Um, you're not crazy. There are signs. Just be thankful that you are able to hear spirit. So yeah, so this is the Queen of Wands energy. She is not just confident in taking risks because she wants to do something out of her ego, but she feels the call and she listens to it fiercely. She knows that the divine is on her side. She knows that God is on her side. She knows that spirit is on her side and making every move for her. So the Queen of Wands reverse, okay? If you don't feel safe in shining your feminine power and you feel like you need to dim your glamour, you need to dim your light, you need to dim your presence, you need to dim your magnetism, that is going to stop, especially money in business. I mean, absolutely money in business is going to stop the money in business from coming in the big and powerful way that it wants to come. Okay? So, in my experience, I don't even think if I got to this part cuz I've been talking about a lot of things, but when I left my six-figure sales closer job and I decided to step into my business and do things my way. Okay, this was another Queen of Wands example. I said to myself, I created a program. I outlined this program within a couple of weeks. I would think within 2 weeks, I had the entire program outlined. I knew exactly what I was going to be teaching about. And it was inspired from a lot of the women that I was coming across in the company that I was talking on sales calls with. But it was also integrated a lot with what my magic is and what I was already right, we talked about this, your craft, your skills. It's not just also about alignment, but it's also about understanding who you are. What are your skills? What is your craft, right? So I created that program that I created was Lunar Feminine Freedom, okay? That was my first high ticket program where it was a 3-month coaching container and it was 5K to enroll. Now it wasn't 10K or 12K like what I was selling in the other company, but it was a 5K program, so that's enough, okay? And I was getting I mean, I had women on sales calls and I was closing, okay? I think all in all I closed 4 women into the program. And in that first month I had made my first 10K month, okay? 10K or so month because a couple of the women did payment plans. So I was like, "Oh, so, really, I just had to be confident because, like I said, I had already knew how to sell because that's how I got the sales closer job. I did learn a lot more about sales, a lot more about sales. Okay, the intimacy of sales, how sales is really just you getting people to tell the truth to themselves, right? You're getting people to tell the truth to themselves in sales, okay? If you want somebody to buy something from you as big as a high ticket program or something that's like hundreds of thousands of dollars, all you have to do is get them to see the truth because a lot of the times people are lying to themselves. They're lying to themselves through their beliefs and through their thought patterns. And once you can get people to see that they are lying to themselves, then they're going to be like, "Oh, I have to stop this. Like I have to stop lying to myself. I have to stop believing in this way. And now I need to take action on it. Now I need to move forward on it. Now I need to do something about it." Right? Basically, that's all in all. There's a lot of like intricate things, right? That you know you also need to learn and understand as well. But that's the gist of it. Okay. So stepping into feminine business at that point, once I had the confidence from practicing and getting on calls and talking to women and knowing what my offer was, I had the confidence. So there was nothing you could tell me, right? I had already been closing women for much higher prices. So there was nothing you could tell me about, you know, you not having it or I mean sometimes women genuinely don't have the money to invest into something. But a lot of times, women and people in general use money as a cop out. They use money or, you know, something in their life as a permission slip to where they tell themselves, oh, I can't have this. And I knew and stood that to be true because for every high ticket program that I invested into, which I did invest into a high ticket program in that same year that I made that 10K, I reinvested some of that money into a high ticket program. But I had, before I invested it into that high ticket program, I had already put a deposit down on the enrollment into that program. Yes.
Cats eating dog food can cause them to get injured, can cause them to get a little sick. So, dog, and if dogs eat cat food, they can get sick.
They're gonna be all right. They're gonna be all right. It's all meat and and vegetables and whatever else they put in there. Um so oh, this is why I hate when
It's an eyelash.
okay, baby, stop interrupting me because I just lost my train of thought. Just hold it until I'm done. My daughter's born on a Wednesday, and that is the day of Mercury, and that is also the day of taking over your mind because I feel like she can easily just give me that brain. Let me control it. Um, so I completely forgot what I was talking about, but I'm gonna backtrack. So I was mentioning the high ticket sales. I was mentioning okay, so I believe that I was still on and um feel free to remind me in the chat of what I was saying. But when I was enrolling or when I made that 10K, oh, high ticket program. Okay. So when I made that 10K, I invested into a high ticket program. However, months before, okay, before I believe I even got the sales closer job, I had made a deposit to go into the program because that was the only way you could get into the program anyway. You had to make a deposit on the spot. There was no, oh, send me the link or it was exclusive, okay? It was an exclusive high ticket program and I knew that I needed to enroll into that program. So, I didn't have the money to deposit into anything, let alone a high ticket program. However, I had men in my life, okay? I had men in my life. So this is why I'm saying even though I didn't have the feminine business part down packed at the time, or even I mean I had somewhat of the magical money. I was in a good flow with that. I was still aligning with that though. I was utilizing the masculine energy and allowing masculine energy to receive or to give to me. So I was able to get the $300 deposit, okay, and allow the men in my life to support me in that way. And so I had the $300 deposit for the high ticket program and I set the intention. I said I'm going to enroll soon, right? Whenever I enroll, I'm going to enroll soon. And as soon as I had enough money, I put that money into the program. Okay. So all of that came to me because I was confident. because I was bold, because I knew I would deserved it. So, in essence, every single avenue that I'm talking about is only going to work if that Queen of Wands energy is down packed. It is only going to work if that is down packed. Because if you are going back and forth, not sure and cowering, and you know that's gonna block it off. um Empress energy says you were saying how women often have the money to invest but not the mind frame, and not having the money is a cop out. Yes, I was talking about that, right? Yes. um so yeah, let's get into before I go live, I do pull cards before I go live to tap into the energy of the live. And not only did I pull the Queen of Wands, I also pulled the Four of Pentacles. So that literally is talking exactly about just that. And this is a shadow. This is a shadow. This is your fear of letting go of what you have, holding on to money and staying in scarcity. Okay. So when you clutch money too tightly, you block the flow. Security comes from the knowing that money is going to come back to you. And it is a given when you are putting it out. I don't know. Recently I've been honestly recently I've been getting into a lot of arguments online, okay? I think that is another way of me kinda igniting my Queen of Wands energy. Now listen, they haven't been arguments that I started, okay? I just been, coming in to finish them, okay? To coming in to close them out. I don't be starting arguments now. Now if you say something stupid, I will likely, and if it means something to me, right? If it's a value point, lately I have been exercising my voice in that way. And in one of the ways, another one of the ways, we're gonna get into that in a whole nother video. I might do that on my other channel, but in one of the ways, it was like a reel that I was watching. It was actually a funny reel, and this guy was pretending to be a waiter, and he was giving the person that they're basically the tab, like the I don't know what they call it. It's like the little wallet where they have the money. They come back with the money that you spent for the food. And he was like, "Oh, you sure you want your money that's in here? It's only $2." And the lady's like, "No, no, I want my money. I want my $2." And he's like, "Oh, are you sure? I mean, it's really just $2." Because he wanted the tip. And she was like, yeah, I'm gonna take my $2. And um let's see. And then basically after he realized that um he wasn't gonna get tipped, he basically started ignoring her all throughout the session, or not the session, all throughout like her being seated at the table. She's trying to call him for him to come help her, and he is not coming. And then there's people in the comments like, oh, entitled waiters wanting you to tip them. And I'm like, entitled waiters. Now, I used to be a waitress for like a couple of months. It didn't last long because that was one of the most abusive jobs that I had ever worked, was being a waitress. And it wasn't on behalf of the people coming in. It was actually the business was abusive. The people there was just not good people. They were very mean and toxic. And I had to learn a lot of lessons around being given your fair share. So that's another thing that I want to lend to this, because I also pulled the six of pentacles reverse. Okay, of like holding on to scarcity, but then still feeling like you are unworthy of being given what you deserve, or not even what you deserve, just like being treated fairly, right? You don't know what's fair if you are always allowing people to treat you unfairly. Like if your whole life you have been treated unfairly, you will likely not really know what it means to be treated fairly and to be given what you to deserve. And this applies in every area that I talked about. When we're receiving money from the universe, you feel like you're I won't even say you feel like, but you're not being given what the universe wants to give to you. Okay, you're not being given your fair share because you're constantly putting up with the toxicity of other people, of environments that don't want to pay you what you deserve, that don't want to pay you what you're worth. Um in relationships, you're putting up with relationships with men who are taking and taking and taking from you, not giving you what you deserve, not helping you in any way. And again, and last but not least, in feminine sales and in business, you are afraid to actually receive the amount of money that will actually sustain you, that will actually not only sustain you, but expand you. You'll have more than enough, more than what you need. Okay. So you're receiving of all of these. I mean, you're worthy of receiving all of these things. And the Six of Pentacles reverse coming out as one of the messages that wanted to be talked through is um the unbalanced giving and receiving, the over giving, under receiving, and attracting conditional generosity has to end. Okay? You're worthy of receiving without conditions. This is about you stepping out of the imbalance where you always end up giving more than you get. And the only way for you to really recognize that is to like acknowledge, like using that scenario of the waiter or the waitress as the example, is you um waitresses, like when I was a waitress, I was only getting paid like the base pay is like $2 an hour, $4 an hour. I don't know. It is crazy low. Last time I checked, it is a crazy low. And waitresses get paid, and basically, majority of their pay comes from the tips. So when you decide not to tip a waitress or a waiter, they're literally not getting paid. They're just there serving you, and they're not getting paid anything. So you have people, idiotic people in the comments talking about, "I don't have to pay you if you give me bad service," or da 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 da. And I'm like, no, you always have to tip. Like, I believe that you always should tip when you are being served by a waiter, okay? I believe that you should always tip because not only because of them, right? Because they should be getting something, but it's like basic courtesy. Like, it's like foundational human kindness, right? Like, it's like you don't not tip someone if they give you bad service. You just don't tip them as much as you would have if they gave you good service. Okay? That's the motto. You don't tip them as much as you would have if they didn't give you good service. But you always have to tip, okay? Just because they served you. It may have not been in the best way that you wanted to be served, but they served you. They showed up and they served you. So, Four of Pentacles energy, that poverty energy, that I want to hold on to my money energy. Now, this might not always play out in like this kind of scenario, but um, when you do get your hands on some money, you don't want to you don't trust where it's going to go now. You don't trust in letting it go where it wants to go. You are holding on to it out of fear. Okay? Um especially when it comes to, and since the 6 of Pentacles is came along with this card, this is making me think of really investing in yourself. I brought up investing in high ticket coaching. I brought up how I invested in high ticket coaching. I brought up how um I don't know if I brought this up actually, but there were a lot. Actually, I did because Empress, you remind me. And Empress, you always tip. Absolutely. Okay. Always tip. Okay. Because it activates your abundance when you tip. When you believe that you can give someone something, that you always have something to give, then you will always have something to give. And you will continuously be given more and more because life wants everyone to prosper. Life wants everyone to prosper. So this is all also making me think of investing in yourself, feeling like you can invest in yourself, feeling like it's empowering for you to invest into yourself. A lot of women hold on to money and feel like they can't invest into themselves because it's not worth it or they need to spend money on other things. Investing into yourself is going to be the best investment you will ever make because you are who you have to live with for the rest of your life. Things will come and go. Physical items will come and go. You can always manifest those things again. But you are priceless. You are someone in um who compounds compounds in your investment every single time you invest in yourself. Whereas other things, temporary. So I'm gonna fix my dress because I feel like I'm sweating. I am sweating, 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 sweating. Um, so it's time to come clean, all right, when it comes to money with yourself. Come clean, be honest with yourself. Um, about the old survival strategies and breaking out of this deception that you're putting yourself through, this scarcity deception that you are putting yourself through. And it's all starting with your beliefs and the way that you think. Um so no more hiding your desires or downplaying your needs. Feminine money alchemy means being radically honest about what you want and allowing it to flow in openly. So if you've been lying to yourself, like I mentioned earlier, if you've been lying to yourself about what you want to receive or what you're worthy of receiving, then that's an issue. Okay, that's an issue, and you need to release deceiving yourself about what you really need. Okay, something that is really key for you to do is just be honest about what you want to receive in your life and stop downplaying that. Okay, even for me now, a ritual that I'm definitely going to be doing for this new moon. And for those of you that are here or watching this in the future, you can take this away from this video. um do a ritual to where you're really writing out everything that is your highest level feminine desire and what you how you want to experience your reality in your life as it relates to finances, but also as it relates to everything. Okay, because finances represents your freedom to be able to have anything or experience anything. Empress Energy says, I want to start my dream career, but I have been convincing myself that I will fail if I don't rush back to my old job. And that is the Queen of Wands reversed, playing itself out. Because who is that person convincing you, right? That person that's convincing you 9 times out of 10 is linked to thoughts and programming that you have received from the outside world, from other people, from society, conditioning, from even your circumstances may be putting you in a position of making you fearful and feeling like you can't be successful if you go the way that you want to go. Um, is there ever a circumstance where your deepest desires doesn't align with what God wants for you? You are God. You are the source. A lot of people don't like hearing that because you are in collaboration or co-creation with the divine. So the divine does not have this superiority over you to decide what you get to have. The divine simply shows you the best way to get there, or the um aligns you with the things that you say that you want, right? The divine is aligning you with the things that you say that you want. But the divine doesn't decide what you want. You do. You are the ultimate force and the ultimate power, Queen of Wands upright. You are deciding what gets to happen and what's going to happen in your life. And this is where um whenever setbacks pop up, whenever roadblocks pop up, we start to think, oh, this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. This isn't the path that's meant for me. Yada, yada, yada. When really, it's usually and typically subconscious programming and subconscious wiring, right? It can be past trauma from your pains of your past, from situations or circumstances you've been through that hurt you, that you went through. Your mind will try to protect you from experiencing those things again, and your subconscious wants you to release those things. So as you go down your path that's meant for you, that you have decided is your path, this is what I want to do, this is who I am, this is what I'm committing to, and that's it. You're going to get shaky in that once you start going down the path, when those subconscious um patterns come up in your reality. Your the moon is manifesting your reality. So I've experienced this, and this is something that um I decided to add on as a bonus, as another bonus in Safe to Receive, which is basically the feminine wealth activation session, okay, where for myself I had to go through all of my blocks, my habit blocks around money, my handling blocks around money, my thought blocks around money, my emotional blocks around money. And you know me, I like to do everything in connection with the divine and in the spirit world. And I have a very healthy and happy relationship with my guides. I don't be talking to unknowns people, okay? I like to talk to the ones that are here with me, supporting me, and they want to help you if you're open to them helping you. They want to channel messages in information to you, but the spirit world can only communicate to you through symbols, through your dreams, through other people, right? In synchronicities that you hear, like that, okay? So when you start experiencing setbacks, you might feel like, oh, it's not meant for me, but really it's just blockages that want to be released by you. And so if you can take that as an opportunity to say what emotions want to be released from this experience, then that's where the block starts to resolve. That's where what you thought was like an issue was actually your opening to the path becoming even wider and clearer. Um Yes, thank you, Goddess. I appreciate you and this knowledge. You're so welcome, Empress. Something in my soul keeps telling me to keep calm and be delusional if I have to, because it all has already worked out for me. Oh, thank you. All blockages must be released. Um, so this is what I want you to do. I want you to stop telling yourself to be delusional, because I honestly, it's a very trendy thing to say, but the definition of being delusional isn't what I'm talking about here, right? The actual definition of being delusional, let's look it up real quick, because when people say be delusional, That's exactly what you're gonna be, is delusional. I don't want you to be delusional. Okay? Delusional goes along with delirious. I I know what it means to go delirious. If you've ever been delirious, okay? I used to when I was very young, I got sick a lot. My tonsils would get swollen a lot and I had strep throat a lot. And one of the nights that I had strep throat, actually let me turn this off. One of the nights that I had strep throat, I had a really high fever and I ended up going delirious. I was a child. I think I was about 8 or 9 years old. I went delirious, okay? Um, this was a time I was living in New Orleans. This was before Katrina hit, and we were living in a really old house. The house was haunted, child. The house had spirits up in there. And my mom would like she would make me aware of the spiritual activity that was going on in the house. Not directly, but um she was sensitive to it and so was I, okay? And one of those nights that I had a fever, um, I went delirious and my mom flipped, okay? She flipped out and I had no idea what was happening. Like I was no longer in my body. I don't remember that experience at all. Okay. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe something did hop in my body real quick while I was sleeping because I don't remember any of that experience. I thought I was still sleeping. Okay. So delusional describes holding beliefs that are not based in reality and that the person maintains despite clear evidence to the contrary. This can be a symptom of a mental illness. Okay. Delusions are firm beliefs that contradict reality. So, the reason that I don't like this word is because the definition of it is saying that it's not based in reality. And that's a lie. Okay? When you are manifesting, you are not being delusional. You are not holding a belief that is not based in reality. You are holding a belief that is based in reality. Okay? You are holding a belief that is true because the nature of the universe is benevolent. The nature of the universe is abundant. The nature of the universe is providing. So if you're holding a belief that says, I'm provided for, I have the money that I need, and I'm going to be successful in this, that's not delusion. That's you telling yourself the truth. Delusion is you literally lying to yourself. Delusion is the beliefs that people hold that are bold-faced lies that are not in alignment with the universe, that are not in alignment with the divine and the way things work in the cosmos and the order of things. Delusion is holding beliefs of scarcity and lack. That is a mental illness. That is what it means to be delusional. So I don't want you to say that. I want you to really get comfortable with thinking and knowing that this isn't delusion, this is truth. This isn't delusion. This is absolute truth. This is the truth. Like this is what life is meant to be like. So the more you can step into that, the more that it doesn't feel like a struggle anymore, like you're lying to yourself. You're not. You're telling yourself the truth. I will definitely stop saying that. I was saying it in the sense to convince myself that all these obstacles and blockages are just illusions. They are not real. The blockages, yeah. So, Aleva, put that back in. I'm still using it. Hey, my sweetie baby, come here. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. Um, So, yeah, the obstacles and the blockages are coming from also the obstacles and the blockages are also not something that I want you. Oh my gosh, the spiritual bypassing. There is so much spiritual bypassing in the like when it comes to spirituality and the way we approach it in manifesting, so much bypassing. It's ridiculous. And this is also one of the ways that we bypass, okay? So I don't want you to feel like you have to think that obstacles and blockages are not real and are illusions, right? Because that can also be a way that you bypass things that you can release, right? Like things that your subconscious, that your soul, that your lunar energy wants you to process and let go of. So when you call it illusions, what does that make you want to do? It makes you ignore it and passively, like, kind of like, this is what we do. We sweep it under the rug, right? But in my experience, everything you sweep under the rug and that you don't deal with and handle that comes up as a thing for you, as a trigger, as a blockage, as an obstacle, it's just going to come up again until you handle it, until you deal with it, until you address it. Um, I am absolutely going to accept your present of knowing and trash the redirect of illusion. Yes, trash it. Yes, this is the truth. I don't need to convince myself of this truth. Your children are absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Empress. Yes, it makes you want to disregard the problem. And we want to disregard the problem because the problem hurts. The problem makes us feel uncomfortable. The problem is it doesn't feel good. And that's normal. Okay? That's normal and natural for you to not want to deal with things that don't make you feel good. But the key here is getting yourself to a place to where you can feel better about the quote unquote setback or obstacle or problem, so the where you're not getting so triggered and emotional when you are approaching the issue, and you are steady and you can witness it with your mind's eye and not be overcome by it, right? Like, that saying, you're in the world but not of the world. Don't let it take over you. This is Queen of Wands energy. This is the woman who is the master, right? And honestly, we kind of delving into High Priestess energy here too, which is the billionairess. If you join me for my billionairess live, the High Priestess energy is the billionairess energy, which is what I am activating for all of this Q4 and into 2026. So you can join me along for that ride if you are wanting to activate that as well. Um Yes, the problem reminds me that I have some things that I need to work on and brings the reality that I am the creator of my life. Yes, absolutely. Okay. So, if you're ready to step into your wealthy feminine era and call in windfalls, provision, and abundance in 21 days or less, enrollment is open for Safe to Receive. This is the program that I'm going to be moving forward with. Um, as far as it goes with money and manifesting money and getting into alignment with money. And aside from all the bonuses that you'll be getting, which is like well over $1,000 in bonuses that you'll be getting, the three core um, modules that we're going to be moving through is the magical money module, the masculine money module, and the feminine business money module, where I'm going to be teaching you how to call in windfalls of money in those three areas. And my goal is for the women who sign up, especially the women who sign up fast, okay, is to get you to your first windfall, okay? 10K or more windfall of cash through either of these avenues, okay? Or it can be all three of these avenues combined. That is my goal because it's literally just sitting there. That's how I feel. That's how I felt when I called in my first windfall and I've called in 10K through men supporting me. I've called in 10K through um in a month in my business. I've called in windfalls, right? The magical 10K windfalls of winning the contest win. So um so to sign up, the link is pinned in the comments. And if you want to put down a deposit to secure your spot, um, then I can also put a link to that in the comments for you to do that as well. Um, but for the women who sign up in the next 24 hours, I will be able to get you onto a call. Okay, get you onto a 90-minute feminine wealth abundance session. And we are going to be going through all of um, the blocks that I mentioned earlier. So that is the feminine abundance money blocks, of the habit blocks, the handling blocks, the thought blocks, and the feeling blocks that you currently have around money, how to transmute that, what things are you already doing right now that are working for you, and stepping fully into your aligned way of manifesting money and handling money, right? So this is unique to you. This is going to be unique to the way you have currently been relating to money and getting you to step into your full power, sovereignty, and goddesshood around the manifestation of it. Okay. So, safe to receive, I'm going to be um starting safe to receive within the next week. Um, but if you sign up now, you'll already be able to access all of the bonuses, okay? So the bonuses, which is basically like the prerequisite to the core teachings, which again is the Wealthy Woman Activation Training, the Soft Life Blueprint, and the course material within Valued and Worthy that is really teaching you about manifestation and the manifestation of money. So, that is pinned down in the description. And so, for any other questions that anybody else may have, Empress, you have been phenomenal. I almost want to give you like a little mini reading, a card, a mini card, because you've been so active in the chat. I appreciate you so much for um joining in for this live and also making it so vibrant. It's really easy for me to like deliver on the message when I have some people here engaged in the chat. Sleep. So, you ready to go to sleep? That's why you're saying that? It is late. This is one of the latest. They're probably tired as well. I have night. Those of the people that are on here right now are night owls, I'm sure. Oh my goodness. So let's see. I will go ahead and put a link in the description for those of you who want to put a deposit down. So Empress, let me know if you are wanting to sign up, because you've been so active and I feel like you're ready for it. And I would love to work with you more intimately. So let me know if you are interested in signing up. I will get a deposit link. So that way, if the full amount is not something you can do right now, you can still get access to the feminine abundance session through a deposit. And those are going to be intimate. I'm going to be doing those personalized. Okay, Aleva, that's enough sleep. Empress Energy says, yes, I am. Can you pull a card for me? Yes, where's my cards away? All right, let's pull one card. Okay, Leva, what you doing? Go ahead. All right, so what is Empress Energy's message around money, wealth? I would love to sign up, but I have to wait till I have the funds for the deposit. Okay. Well, I will go ahead and pin those links in the comment box for the deposit for the program in the comments after this video is done for those of you who want to go the deposit route. Ooh! And then pay the rest in installments. Okay, 10 of Cups. So your message around financial abundance has to do with really the ultimate happiness. The ultimate happiness, the ultimate fulfillment, the ultimate joy. So your money path is definitely tied to your happiness and your joy, whatever is lighting you up to go in a certain way. And I would say really fulfilling you. The 10 of Cups is all about just feeling emotionally fulfilled and having everything in life. So, I can't help you right now. Not till I'm done. So the 10 of Cups is, yeah, that's the message that's coming out. Your financial path is deeply intertwined with your happiness. So that's a big one. So, I mean, if that isn't more confirmation, right? Family. 10 of Cups can also talk about really big family, but not just like bloodline family, like 10 of Pentacles, like generational family, but like spiritual family, like people in your life who just really bring you happiness and joy. And I see all these people in this card. They all have these cups that they're bringing together. Page of Pentacles, yeah. Whatever new idea that you have as far as financial growth, go for it because it's working out for you. And the Ace of Swords, you may also have something to say in regards to this new business or this new path. The Ace of Swords says, say what needs to be said and don't hold anything back, okay? Speak your truth. A big part of your financial path is following your happiness, your joy, surrounding yourself with people that you love, going down that path, starting that new path financially of what will work for you, of what's meant for you, and then using your voice to tell the truth, and cut through any illusions in your own life. Yeah. I see you getting over heartbreak. I see you overcoming your Queen of Wands reversed energy. I see the Knight of Wands reverse. Getting over disappointment, imbalances. Maybe also toxic love, toxic men who have not been the best for you emotionally. men who don't know how to hold you emotionally, that may have dimmed your confidence a bit. Knight of Wands reverse. Um, yeah, men who have been rushing in, passionate, but cause a lot of disappointment that you're now healing from. You're knowing from this, you're understanding the balance that you deserve. And um and yeah, and then you have the ultimate authority coming in with the King of Swords, right? So, King of Swords upright. This is clarity. This is you taking back um charge of having boundaries. And Four of Cups, you're you're tuning into your inner knowing and your inner knowledge. Three of Cups, celebrations are on the horizon. The Magician. Yeah, you have everything you need with the Magician coming out to grow your garden. Seven of Pentacles. So you've got it, girl. You got it, girl. You got it. Do, 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 do. You got it, girl. You got it. I don't wanna play no games, play no games. Okay. I thought that was Drake. Isn't that a Drake song? I don't know. You can't sing nobody no more without feeling morally um conflicted. I can't sing Chris Brown without feeling morally conflicted. I can't sing Drake songs anymore without feeling morally conflicted. You know what I'm saying? But I might have to do my own little remix. My own little remixes, which is something that I'm going to be coming out with very soon. um I also do music, and that is something that I have also been that has also been pouring into my Queen of Wands energy. So I can't wait till I start um releasing a lot of my songs and remixes and everything like that. OMG, thank you. And after this live with you, I am in my knowing aura. Absolutely. So, yeah, this is just the beginning. We're going to keep talking about it and keep getting into it. But yeah, so thank you all so much for coming. If nobody else has any questions, or Empress, if that's going to be it for you, now's your chance to say your last thing or ask your last thing. Um but if not, I'm going to get ready to hop off. So, I'm glad that the live video stopped glitching and is smooth flowing. Everything worked out pretty good. Um, but yes, I love you so much. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you are watching this video, if you're watching the pre-recording and you made it all the way to the end, um, I want to see some mermaids in the comments. Like, I want to see some mermaids, some ocean, some water drops, because this is like, I feel like swimming right now. I feel like I'm swimming in the juices of abundance. um, so yes, thank you all so much. And again, a safe to receive. The link is down below. I can't wait to get started with that. And I will see y'all in my next live video.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, I'm getting off now.
I made something out of